right into it. Is everybody clear with what the plan is today? One last thing. Michael Tapp, you're on scholarship.
How about that, Big Stevie Lee? How about that?
That's good stuff, man. It always make you feel good. You know,
It's
always good feel good stories.
Yeah, I love it, man. And Michael Taft was one of those guys, high academic guy from Westlake, great defensive back. He's part of the reason why Westlake won all those state championships lately. I mean, I still see him in that one-handed interception he made, I think, a year or two ago in a state championship or on the road to the playoffs. And all that kid's done is not only walk on, but he's played a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, do you recall when you were at Texas and all that talent, all those great players that you played alongside during Mac Brown's era, of any walk-on who was remotely similar?
Yeah, actually. Michael Ungard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good dude too, man. Just real nice guy. Do anything to help. And that's why he was a walk-on and came and helped us. The man ran down the field in total disregard to his body and just threw his body up against anybody on kickoff, man. So he had a fan base. He had a huge fan base. Like the band had this this sign whenever he ran down the field on kickoff. It was like Ungar.
Ungar. I remember this vaguely.
Yeah. So Michael Ungar was our world famous or Texas famous walk on.
Those are always great stories. I look forward to each and every one of them when they start occurring throughout the latter part of the season and the off season. And man, it's kind of emotional because those kids, those young walk-ons, they're up against a fight every day.
Yeah.
And they've got to really earn it. But man, always great stories.
I guess the other best walk-on non-scholarship player I ever played with was Cedric Benson.
Oh, because he was a baseball player.
MLB paid for him to go to school.
That's right.
He wasn't on scholarship.
I totally forgot about that, man. That is two of the best running backs in Texas history were on baseball money. Ricky Williams.
Yep.
Said.
You know how I found out was, every year you had to renew your scholarship, right? And Coach Brown was a stand-up guy. If you had a scholarship, you had a scholarship.
Right.
So I heard some coaches would actually revoke kids' scholarships because it was a year-to-year contract. So we finished a meeting one day, and compliance is in the hallway. They just needed everyone to sign their scholarship again once a year. And I think this was the first year that Cedric Benson was there. And he just kind of made fun because we finished a meeting, but you have to wait in line and sign your contract, your scholarship. He was like, "All right, guys, I'm gone. Bye." I was like, "What?" And then he revealed to me, it's like, "Yeah, man, I ain't on scholarship." I was like, "What do you mean? You're Cedric Benson?" No. He goes, "Yeah, baseball pays mine." I was like, and kind of opened my eyes up.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about MLB. Even though you're in the minors, that's part of the deal. They'll say, "We'll pay for your college."
Yeah.
But he figured out that he was going to probably have a longer career, possibly, or get to the top level quicker in football.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, we love our guys, Hargrove Roofing. Man, they have done a lot of roofs, if you will, in the 78757 lately. And then I introduced them to another client up there in Wells Branch.
Oh, good.
So a lot of people are starting to realize who's on their roof, Stevie.
Yeah, man. Know who's on your roof. That's awesome. Good guys in Hargrove. honest, tell you what the problem is, come out, fix it, or give you a whole new roof. It's good stuff.
Or if you're Stevie Lee, they may go hang Christmas lights.
Don't tell everybody
Don't
that.
tell everybody that. I just said that may be something, but I don't think they're in the Christmas light business.
They're not. They're not in the Christmas lights business. They know how to run around on top of roofs. So that's why I called them. I got up there and I was like, you know what? Life is too precious. Let me get somebody that know what they're doing up here.
Smart man.
Yeah,
Smart man. Hey, there's really not too much to. This is that time of not only December, but the year, but for college football in particular, where there's not too much to talk about, but it'll all change Wednesday of this week because it's National Signing Day #1. But for Texas and a lot of programs, who are playing in bowl games that are not either New Year's Six or CFP, what's the advantage and disadvantage of playing if you're an NFL draft eligible right now? And
NFL draft eligible, you got to evaluate: are you on the cusp of being drafted, or you trying to raise your draft stock, or you've shown everybody everything that you can show. These guys on the screen have shown everybody what they can do. So, I know people get all up and get their panties in a wad and like these kids they made a commitment. They should be playing this, and that. But why?
Right, exactly.
Ask yourself why. Like you want them to play because you want to see them play in the burnt orange again. Okay, say that. But when these kids got literal millions of dollars on the line, they don't want to put their body in danger on a football field and risk that. And the people who are out there saying that they should play are dumb. And if they were in their positions, they would do the same thing. You just sit it out. You have to sit this game out. It's a business decision. The University of Texas used their bodies long enough, and now it's time for them to use their bodies for themselves.
Yeah, leverage.
Yeah,
leveraging and brokering, so to speak.
But now in the same breath, if you're a senior and you're trying to raise your draft stock, you have advisors and agents and things like that that tell you, hey, you might want to put some more games on film for the scouts and go ahead and play this game. And some guys do that.
Yeah.
They need more film. Then they'll go play in the Senior Bowl and things like that. So if like someone like Bijan will probably go to the combine and run the 40, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's shown how his hands are on film. He can catch out of the backfield. He can jump step, drop on a dime, and make someone miss. All he needs to do is train for the next 3 months for the 40 and run the 40 and go get paid.
That's it.
That's all he needs to do. And, it's where college football is. It is a business. And they have to take care of their business.
100% they do. I think you're going to kill me on this one. I think of the three right here, Roschon Johnson will have the longest NFL career.
Ooh.
Longest.
The longest NFL career.
And that's a gamble to say because you can't predict injury, nor do I wish that upon him.
Neither one of them.
I just say that he's durable. He's and he can play multiple positions.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. It's kind of easy to say that because linebackers and running backs don't have very much shelf life.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and Bijan's going to be a number one running back somewhere.
Oh, hands down, he will be.
Yeah. So running backs, they need to get their money up front in the beginning because their shelf life is not And you can see Ezekiel is not aging well. Elliott,
No.
you know.
Oh, that game. Oh, my God.
I hear you. So,
Real quick, DeMarvion, great person, great character, great work ethic, just a good energy guy. Do you think it doesn't matter what we think, but do you think he could even remotely benefit from playing in this Alamo Bowl? And I know he's not, but
I think in my eyes, we talked about this before.
yeah.
You know, he needed some more development. He missed a couple tackles. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't him. I'm sorry. Scratch that.
Totally somebody else. Yeah.
That was 41. Ford. That was Ford.
Oh, Jalen.
Yeah, it was Ford. My bad.
Hey.
It all depends on what the NFL scouts are saying, right? I think if you first round, you don't need to play. If you on a cusp, if some experts are telling you that you are a fourth rounder or a second rounder, I think you play in the game to show everyone that you are a second rounder, you know?
Yeah.
So the difference between fourth and second round is a couple $1 million. So
Significant difference.
Yeah, significant. And so that's enough money to make me want to go ahead and play and try to raise my draft stock. But then do I put my body at risk for not getting anything at all?
No, it is a risk. But Stevie, listen. If I'm a Texas fan, I'd want DeMarvion here forever.
Yeah,
he's a true team guy, but at the same time, man, I'm not an expert, and I'm probably wrong. I bet there's a 80 to 90% chance I'm wrong, but I think he's a fourth or fifth rounder.
Ooh, really? Then he plays. He should play.
I mean, it's nothing personal. It's just from what I've seen over really just if you dial into the last 20 NFL drafts, of course, every draft's different because the needs are different.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great specimen. I think he will put on some girth, if you will, some thickness, but they'll do it where he keeps his quickness. Kind of like Derek Johnson. Derek put on a lot when he played, and he changed it to a different linebacker.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Fourth, fifth round possibility. But Bijan, who should have been a Heisman finalist, really showed today why he's just another chapter of who he is. All three of these guys, and a lot of guys in Longhorns like this. Mm-hmm. But this is Bijan today, and he really said it. This was honestly a tough decision.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard decision. And for me, being a running back, it's smart to, keep the wheels on your body, fresh, when you do want to go to the NFL. And I thought that this was just, the perfect time to go endure that for sure. But the reason why it was hard, because I just love it here.
Yeah, you can't help it.
He's lying. Not a hard decision. That is not. Hey, listen. If that kid was in my camp, I was like, dude, shut it down. It's not a hard decision. It's not. He's lying.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's lying or not. He's not lying. If he said it, he's not lying. But it's not a hard decision, dude. Everyone knew when you were walking off the field against Baylor the last home game.
Yeah.
What was that, Baylor? Yeah. You're done. That was your last time putting on a burnt orange jersey.
He knew it. He knew it too.
Yeah. It wasn't a hard decision. It's a business decision.
Hey, Stevie, these bowl games, the gifts, the swag, I can't remember the financial number, but it has to be at or below a X amount. But, all the bowl games that I went to as a media member too, I did a bunch of stories, media or team bowl paraphernalia swag stories, had some fun. And we got some gifts too. And I'll give it to that Texas Bowl. I'm not a big fan of the people who run the Texas Bowl just because of the way they treated us. But man, they gave away Academy gift cards.
Oh, really?
Fiesta Bowl. Man, I got some Ray-Bans.
Okay.
All right. And on just like clockwork, I go through a pair of Ray-Bans, lifespan's probably 8 to 12 months.
Yeah.
I lost them 7 months later.
There you go.
But man, for you as a player, what was your favorite bowl gift or gifts?
Well, I'm gonna show my age a little bit. Before these things had cameras on them and video recording, it was a camcorder.
Yes.
We got a camcorder from the Holiday Bowl. So everybody walking around SeaWorld with their camcorder. And I don't think we ever, anybody ever went back to the pictures that you took with that or the videos that you took with that. It was just, they gave us a camcorder, one of those big bulky things, big square, bulky, and you walking around with it. And one year at, I think it was it was the Cotton Bowl. We had one of those handheld DVD players with the little screen on it. So it folds up like that. It closes and folds up like that. And when you can watch a DVD, your battery life was only for one DVD. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, man. So we got one of those from the Cotton Bowl. And I can't remember, man. I'm so old. I can't remember what else we got.
Did you say old?
Yeah, man. Dude, that was 20 years ago. Well, yeah, 20. I was there from 2000 to 04. 20 years ago.
Dude, that's freaking, oh my God. Don't put that age on us, man.
Yeah, man. So it was always good gifts, man. We loved getting those gifts from the bowls. But the two I remember was the DVD player and the camcorder.
Those were great gifts, bro.
Yeah.
Those were really good gifts.
Especially back then.
Oh
yeah.
My God. Yeah.
I still have a pouch. It's a bag with a strap on it of CD holder. So you can hold it had a pouch to hold your Discman, right, and then another pouch to hold all your CDs, and you can strap it over your shoulder. And you can walk around with your Discman and all your CDs that you needed. That came from the Big 12. So we had Big 12 gifts as well.
Shout out to the Big 12, and I do miss this. One of my favorite accessories as far as backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
An OGO backpack. I still use it to this day, especially for my carry-on at an airport. Man, that thing has 37 different compartments.
Yeah.
The Big 12 media days, all media days at that level, man, they do it right because they're sponsored gifts.
Yeah.
And they do it. Big 12, they rocked it out, man. Good job. But these bowl games, I've heard, I want to say in the money, it's $699 a person, right? $699 and below. Is that right?
I have no clue, man. I have no clue. What I did hear years after I was gone, kids had they would give them a ticket and they would go into a prize room and you can choose whatever you wanted out of that room. And one year they had like a lazy boy reclining chair. And what you do is if you say you want that, they'll ship it to you. They would have shipped it to you at one of these bowls. I can't remember. And so someone said more than half the team got the lazy boy chair so they can sit in their dorm room playing games.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And study. Study.
Yeah, and study. Okay. Studying in lazy boy chairs, you fall asleep. Yeah.
False. That's not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Stevie, the first of two national signing days. I like it how this changed. I do like this. I know this is third or fourth year of this. The early signing period, which is where the top talent in the country will sign usually unless they want to continue the recruiting process. From all you heard on your Longhorn football family, I'm expecting, would you say, top 5 to 7 recruiting class? on day one? I mean, signing day number one alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm hearing top 3 some places, right? So this is very important, man. The way that Shark and his staff has gone out and recruited, that's loading up this university with good talent.
Yeah.
For 4 to 5 years to come. And then if you build on that, you build on that, on top of that. And then you build on top of that, So now that's that double-edged sword too now, right? Sword. So you're going to get these guys in. What you going to do with them?
Well, what are they going to do with you? They may bounce.
Yeah, that's true. This portal is wide open nowadays. So it's that's good and dandy that we got the kids here. So now it's up to y'all to keep them here, and develop them. So, he's gonna be a Shark, and his staff will smile tomorrow or Wednesday. Smile, smile, smile. Yes, we got this class, but they're gonna go to bed with their eyes plastered to the ceiling. It was like, oh, I got these big, strong, young kids coming in here. I got to do something with them, or my tail is on the line. Yeah, absolutely. So
they will. I mean, they're still recruiting well. Offensive line, not as. I don't think it's going to be as extensive as this past recruiting cycle. O-line class, but I think they've done a fabulous job. I think A&M still. A&M, here's a good stat for you. As of right now, last check, 22 Aggies, I think, have either declared for the draft or entered the portal.
They got a problem over there, man.
It's either that or he has determined who doesn't belong in the program and has told them that.
You should enter. You should enter. You should enter. Yeah, I can see him doing that because his tail is on the line right now too.
Yeah, well, clearly, listen, I don't care if it was a rebuilding year, and they did get the quarterback finally figured out there at the end of the year at A&M.
Yeah,
but
we pay you $10 million a year to figure it out before the year starts.
Stevie, they should never. I'll be honest with what they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
They should never lose more than 5 games.
Yeah,
ever. With what they're bringing in.
Yeah,
and I don't know, but I think Texas is almost to that level where a rebuilding year is 8 wins.
A rebuilding year is 8 wins. Whoa.
7 or 8. They need 2 more recruiting cycles. I mean,
rebuilding year is 7 wins, 8 wins. Oh, hey, that sounds like that we've been really good for a long time, though. And I don't think that's true.
Why I'm saying, well, that was your type of rebuilding year, but you never rebuilt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You had sustainable success.
I think a 5-win season, not making a bowl, we want to call it a rebuilding year.
Dude, that's horrible. That should never happen.
Really?
That should never happen at A&M or Texas.
It happened to us last year, though.
It's happened a lot, Texas.
So that was just a bust year, not a rebuilding year.
I think there was a bad combination of players at Texas in 2021.
Gotcha.
I just don't think it was. There's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Not a good combination of players for a team.
I want to throw 2021 out of the window anyway. So that was bad COVID football too. So
it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Hey, you know who listen. I get it. Now, Stephen, before I go to this story, you'll love this graphic. You and I, and everyone else, we really, truly need to change our mindset and really about how signing X amount here, signing this. Hey, after this class, another class, and then you just stockpile. To say it bluntly and poor grammar, it ain't like that anymore. We got to figure out. We got to stay. Here's what we as fans, I think, how we should change our mind, and that is who do you think we can get out of the portal? Who do you think is going to transfer? Who can we develop that's coming from other programs? Just signing people. Yeah, it's important, but you got to be open to the portal every year.
Mm-hmm.
And this NIL, we'll save that for next week or another podcast. That NIL I don't think it's working the way it is now. I think it's helping, but overall, I don't think it's sustainable the way it is currently.
Huh. I think we have to talk on that.
I think that's
a huge conversation.
Because I want to get my facts. I want to get my theories together so we can have a good conversation about it.
Sure.
Maybe bring in somebody.
Yeah, bring in an expert. I hear you. What do we need to bring in, though? What do we need to what's wrong with it?
I think you've got kids allegedly going to coaches and asking, how can I make more money, instead of worrying about getting better on the field?
Okay, I hear
Something
you.
as basic as that.
I hear you.
Conversations between player and coach about money, that should never happen.
I hear you. I get that.
Maybe that's what's going on up in Lincoln, Nebraska. Matt Rhule, back in coaching, he's a big emoji guy. Check out that tweet by him today in the middle. It's geared towards signing day. I'm a Matt Rhule guy, but he's obviously a big emoji guy too. That's a bit much.
What is it saying? Call me.
Call star. Oh, 5-star call.
Wait, 5-star? Where do you get 5?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 5 stars. See them? There's 3 at the second to last. Call me. Just call me, baby.
No. Wait. Do you know what he's trying to say, though?
Call me. Call me, stars. Earlier today, a bunch of corn husks for Cornhuskers. Is this the world we live? This is a weird world we're living in. First of all, people can't have a conversation anymore looking at you and I. This had nothing to do with that, but I just wanted to throw it out there. But Matt Rhule, I mean, he's obviously adapted. His emoji game is strong.
Dude, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what he's trying to say.
This is how these recruits, it's cryptic, man.
Okay. Forward the call. Star. I pick up. Star. Old school phone. Star. Cell phone. Stop calling. I don't know, man.
I can't. I'm trying to look at it on my phone on my emojis right now, and I can't. But as a red phone, looks like a ping pong paddle, a selfie.
Oh, a selfie. That's a stop sign. That's a flying stop sign, isn't it?
Yep.
Not a ping pong paddle. Dude, I don't know. Or is a ball? Flying ball or a meteor?
It's a meteor. He's like, let's shoot for the stars.
Shoot for the stars. Wow. Yeah, I would love to uncrypt that. Like I'm into riddles and puddles, you know, puzzles, being the girl dad that I am.
Yeah, they got you going.
So I would love to know what he's trying to say right there.
No, that's I love it.
I want to be coach.
He's a funny guy too.
Yeah. Good
when
stuff.
he showed up to Big 12 media days, I had a one-on-one with him.
Good stuff.
And he was wearing the Baylor green, that dark green jacket, and I introduced him as the defending Masters champion. And he was talking about his golf game. So we didn't even talk about football for 2 minutes.
That's funny.
It's funny. He's good people, man. Nebraska is one of those programs it's better for football when they're winning, and they have not won in a long time.
Yeah, man, it sucks.
Deion Sanders, speaking of recruiting, Deion Sanders is killing it right now, flipping people who are going to be on campus for visits. I'm not going to predict anything, but all I'm going to say, he's going to make Colorado relevant as far as bowl games and 7, 8, maybe 9-win seasons.
Yeah.
Once every 4 or 5 years, he'll get to double digits. It's just going to be hard in this modern era, but he will win there. There's no doubt. Rob J., his buddy, and you called him, look like two drunk uncles at Thanksgiving, always having a conversation.
Yeah.
That's his buddy that's at Jackson State that they have an interesting relationship. Well, Coach Prime was talking about this is huge because this move to Colorado, because it's making some of my guys, some of his assistants, millionaires. It's generational money.
Yeah.
These guys a lot of them came from nothing. Well, Rob J. interrupted and had this to say.
Okay, well, that's kind of nice, but there's another guy who needs some life changing as well. Damn them. Damn them. Now, there's one more you need. One more need to be life changing. Why are you talking about them?
I love that guy.
I'm taking with you, man.
Come on, take Rob J to Boulder, baby.
To be your SDI guy. Is it SDI?
SID.
SID guy. Make him your SID guy.
Or as they be the multimedia journalist for Colorado football.
Yeah, no question. Take him with you, man.
Take him with him. Put him on the payroll for $100,000. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Stevie, another thing, we missed a lot of big stories last week. It was it was a very depressing week last week.
Yeah.
One of college football greats that you and I feel like we know because of the region and his ties here, Texas Tech, but Coach Leach, and we'll talk about it, but I just made a short tribute. There's so many, he's got thousands of quotes, kind of like Spike Dykes did it when he was here. But man, just a little something to remember. The guy who unfortunately lost his life came to an end at only age 61.
My favorite weather pattern happens to be when it rains mud. Dust comes through, rain on top of it, it rains mud.
We got hit in the mouth and acted like somebody took our lunch money, and all we wanted to do was have pouty expressions on our face until somebody daubed our little tears off and made us feel better.
If that youth's got a rifle, there's some definite problems. You'd have to get one of those Harry Potter activists to read up on how you kill a sun devil, because there's a lot of outside stuff there. Just as far as a beast alone, a buffalo's going to be pretty hard to tangle with. I mean, a buffalo's utterly outstanding.
Just you and I have been through this. One of these episodes, we are going to talk about one of your good buddies. Death is inevitable, but you're never prepared for it, especially for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he had pneumonia for several months and did not go. He just, like so many people, not an advocate of going to getting checked out.
Right.
One of the.
Yeah, tough loss, man, for college football. He was a good guy, funny. Um, you're right. He was in the region down here and was a great coach at Texas Tech. And his offensive mind was fantastic. Every throwing quarterback wanted to play for him. So yeah, it was sad around here, but he did leave a legacy.
He
So
sure did.
he's gonna be missed, but remembered for a long time.
Long time. He knew a little about a lot. And
Yeah.
I love that last picture. That's Hal Mummy, where he learned that offense from and was that extension. And, he coached under Stoops at 99 year before he got it rolling the very next year.
Yeah.
And they hired him from Texas Tech, said, who is this guy that turned Josh Heupel in this offense into something significant and brought him to Lubbock? And, man, amazing. And there's a lot of friends that you and I are connected to who got to know him. And like Billy Schott, former Longhorn kicker from the 70s, he and his wife go to Key West every year. And that's how they became close with Coach Leach and his wife. And, man, that's tough. And I feel for Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Football program right there. Tough to transition to, but, man, it's just life is very, very, very random.
Precious. Absolutely.
It is. Maybe a little dramatic there, but all the state champions in this great state of Texas have been crowned. And I got to show you something that I thought was interesting. Man, I love maps and I love stats. I think you do too. All 12 of the state champions in the state of Texas, look, they're all right there for the most part. They're all within 2 to 3 hours of each other.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, that's cool. Well, we now know where all the best football is being played right now.
Well, you're right. And it's not in Houston.
It's not in Houston? Oh, my goodness. And we got to build a wall on that top border to keep these kids from going to OU and keep them here.
Yeah. It looks like they're trying to migrate to Tech.
Yeah.
They may be going to Angelo State.
Dude, that's a great graphic, man. That's awesome. They're around the Dallas area, man.
Yeah, it's one from Central Texas.
Mm-hmm.
One in East Texas. I'm trying to see who that is.
In Carthage.
Carthage in East Texas.
That's surprising. Only one from East Texas, man.
I know it. I was shocked. I don't know what that's about because usually. Now I will say this. Having said all this, the great state of Texas, or Austin high school football has improved leaps and bounds in the last 10 to 15 years overall.
Absolutely.
It's not just Westlake and Lake Travis. Vandergrift made it, and Wimberley made it to the state championship games.
And
but
Dripping is doing well, right?
They came very close.
Yeah.
So they fumbled at the goal line against Vandergrift, and that's hard. And I hope those kids don't bang their head and hold themselves accountable. That's just the way the ball rolls sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a pretty cool graphic, man. That area up there. We should get those Dallas schools drug tested to see what the deal is up there, see what's in the water. But man, the other thing that I don't want to bring this up, I guess, but I am. I don't know why the state of Texas has 2 champions in one division.
Well, I can explain it.
Make it make sense, though. You can explain it, but make it make sense.
I'll explain it. I mean, I hope with hopes it makes sense.
Okay.
If you create a 7A, meaning another highest classification, then the travel would be enormous. Like Allen has, I think, 7,000 students.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you were to create that, then they would be in a district probably with a northern suburb of Houston,
Mm-hmm.
some Dallas suburbs. It would be really hard to make. So,
Right.
6A, Division 1 and 2. They're 6A during the season, but when it comes time to playoffs, the 4 teams in each district, all the way up 1A, 6A.
Mm-hmm.
4 teams from each district make it. The top 2 in each district of enrollment, they go to Division 1. And then the 2.
So if you have a high number of enrollment, you go to District 1.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. You go Division 1. It's all about enrollment.
It's all about enrollment. So, but you're saying then that what was the team out of Dallas? Allen?
Allen, right outside of Dallas.
Right outside of Dallas. And then you go down Houston, and let's say North Shore has 7,000 kids in their 6A. They're in the same division then, huh?
Yes, for the playoffs.
For the playoffs. So, and what is the enrollment for 6A? You have to be at
12, every 2 years, the UIL has a thing called realignment. And
Okay.
the numbers are cut up. They just manipulate the numbers every year. So this doesn't do any good because I don't have the numbers in front of me.
That's okay.
But for example, my high school alma mater, Anderson, right now is the last year they were in 6. Now they are the smallest program in 6A in the state, competing in the same district as Lake Travis, Dripping Springs, Bowie, and Westlake. Put that together for football.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still got to make it make sense for me, man.
They're trying to put an equal playing field in the playoffs, as far as enrollment. Now, here's to your point. Let's take Austin ISD. Now, South Oak Cliff is giving inner city schools hope because they now want it back to back. All right. AISD outside Bowie is the only one that has a chance. Only one that has a chance, because you may have the enrollment at Anderson, but you sure as hell don't have the 6A numbers for football.
Right.
They have more than most schools in the area, but definitely don't have the depth. It's improving it. They're creating a program there. It's just they need to stay in the 5A ranks.
Yeah.
I'm just using them as an example. We got to hit on the Chris Beard situation. So we didn't have a chance to talk about that last week, and it's nothing has changed since it happened last week.
Right.
But this situation it's in idle. It's treading water, so to speak.
Yeah.
What was your take on it? Because the affidavit is damning, but what people need to know is everyone can have access to the affidavit. All I'll say Stevie, to me, I don't have any of the facts confirmed. Nobody does. And well, somebody may who knows Chris Beard and his fiance, but it screams to me that this is a toxic relationship. That's all.
Right.
We've seen this before.
Yeah. Well, there's always three sides to a story, right? His side, her side, and then the truth, right?
Correct.
So I think the university now is trying to cover their tails because you can't fire him without the going through due process.
Correct.
That means the university, which is a state-run entity, can't fire someone without cause. If they do, I mean, they can fire him without cause, but he can, if he, becomes innocent on all charges and he's scot-free and nothing happens to him, then he can come back and sue the university for wrongful termination, So pending investigation, he's, just suspended with no pay. If you're not paying me and I'm suspended, then I guess I don't work there anymore. But so it's a tough situation. If the young lady is not wanting to press charges, I think that has to be looked at very, very hard. And that's what I heard. Am I wrong with that?
No. That's the.
Is it accurate?
That's what essentially has happened.
Yeah.
But here's where the DA and the state and county take over. Now, Stevie, let's remove this, because all we know is what's on that affidavit in the police report.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's look at domestic violence cases and what we all know is constant with those. You have domestic violence cases, so many of them, in which the party who called or reported it wants to drop the charges.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not a conviction of Chris Beard. It's just, listen, whoever that party is, I mean, bottom line is this union doesn't need to happen.
Right.
It's counterproductive.
They go their separate ways for sure, but right now there needs to be some kind of damage control to where everyone involved goes away the same as they got into the relationship. You know what I mean? And so Chris does have a lot to lose.
Yes.
With this situation. But, heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So he had the crown, and you got to make good decisions. You got to make better decisions of who you have around you, who do you decide to be a mate with, so it's difficult and unfortunate, but we just got to wait and see. For us as Texas fans, and the way he had the team rolling and things like that, it was good. But we also want to respect our women, right?
Correct.
And so there's a piece there. You're right. Some women turn around and say, no, he didn't hit me. And that's like battered woman syndrome. But hopefully that's not the case here. Hopefully it was a big misunderstanding. And sometimes sometimes people don't understand the consequences of your actions when you're in it, And so calling the police and telling them this, and that, you already got that ball rolling. So retracting it looks suspicious.
And the police, their due diligence, did what they had to do.
Speculation, I think we're okay with that part, because, Someone in that house called a cop.
Correct. Twice.
Someone in that house called a cop. And if it's true, toxic relationship. If it's not, and someone's lying to the cops, toxic relationship.
Hey, we can't forget what this time of year means and what it is, because regardless of how old we are, man, it's a special time of year. Hey, Christmas. We're going to try to get to see what Christmas morning's like at Stevie Lee's house on the other side of this break.
Hi, I'm Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the University of Texas.
And I'm Clyde Hargrove. I'm a roofer.
I also saw action in 52 games.
And I fix a lot of roofs.
Also won a Rose Bowl and never lost to A&M.
And I fix a lot of roofs, right, Stevie?
Oh, right. I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit.
So are you going to say that thing about Hargrove Roofing?
Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
Is this even going to work as a commercial?
It just got me in the mood, baby. Let's go. Let's leave those cookies out for Santa Christmas Eve night, man. So give me, if you could even remember, what were some of the best things that you remember growing up that just made Christmas so special for the Stevie Lee and your family?
Well, growing up, man, my coolest memory was I have a little brother, and he's really into music and loves drumming. So my parents bought him, Santa Claus bought him a drum set, real drum set. And my dad and I, so Santa just dropped it off. He didn't put it together. My dad and I stayed up all night to put this drum together. And my little brother, he's probably 7, 8 years old. He sleeps in the room, in my parents' room with my mom. But my dad and I stayed up putting the drum set together. He wakes up the next morning. We are opening all our gifts. I'm the only kid in the house to know that there was a drum set in his bedroom. And so we open up all our gifts. He's so excited. He's a 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid, opening all his gifts and things like that. And my mom tells us to pick up all our presents, pick up everything, and just take them to your room. And so he walks to his room, opens the door, and see a brand new drum set in his room. And oh man, the look on his face, memorable. This is 30 years ago almost, So that's my fondest memory, was my little brother getting this drum set, and that was pretty cool for me. But what the Lee family, this Lee family does is it's really cool, because Santa goes to everyone's house and have cookies, right?
Yeah.
Well, Santa in this house leave extra gifts if he gets Round Rock donuts. Yeah, absolutely. So every year, I know that we have to, because my oldest daughter's birthday is Christmas Eve. So,
wow.
Yeah, we're a type of family. We try to eat healthy and this and that, but she gets to choose a restaurant to go to on her birthday, and her go-to restaurant is blueberry pancakes with blueberry syrup. Is IHOP. That's the only place in the world she has looked and looked and looked.
Lane?
Kirby Lane didn't have blueberry syrup.
Good point.
She said she has to have blueberry pancakes with blueberry syrup, and that's the only place that has it is IHOP. I go to IHOP every year, once a year. I go to IHOP because of that. That's the only reason. Yeah.
You're a good dad.
Yeah, it's terrible. And so, but before we go to all that and do all that, we got to figure out what time Round Rock Donut closes to go grab Santa a dozen. We go ahead and get a bunch because the next morning that's our breakfast. Santa eats that night, drop them off, and then the next morning, we as a family eat the rest of the donuts and kolaches and simply orange juice. That's our tradition here. It's a fantastic tradition. He loves it. He leaves a note. He leaves a note. Like every kid gives me cookies and milk, but I love coming here to get Round Rock donuts and simply orange juice.
Man,
yeah.
Can y'all adopt me? Can I become an honorary member of the family?
You just get a job with Santa. Get on his play with him.
It's payroll.
Yeah. And then just when he makes a stop at our house, stop with him.
Hey, Ben, tell me something good.
Tell you something good. We're single digits days away from the greatest holiday of the Christian faith.
Mm-hmm.
The birth of Jesus. Happy birthday, Jesus.
Yep.
Have you started to see a little difference, or is there still some things going on in the world? I still think there's great things going on.
Absolutely, man. Tell me something good, man. What I'm going to tell you is this weekend, it's about family. It's about love, celebrating the birth of Christ somewhat, we don't know if he was really born on this day, right? But, it's just to be around family, to take some time out and just actually, appreciate each other, man. That's something good for me. I like that,
Yeah.
But also remembering the people that have lost people this year. You know what I mean? So this is the toughest time of the year. If this is your first year without a loved one that you lost earlier this year. So me, Stevie Lee, will be thinking of those people this holiday season because we've gone through it. My wife and I have gone through it. I've seen my mother go through it. It's a tough time for people like that have lost someone. And so, but something good is, it's a new day. It's a new dawn, right? And so we can reflect on the good things, the positive things that we of loved ones that we've lost. Reflect on how that person made you feel. You're feeling sad right now because that person made you feel so good for so many years,
Right.
So just reflect on that and know that I love you, the Lee family love you, and just and hang in there, because it's going to be all right.
Hey, this is Coach with Hargrove Roofing, wishing all the UT fans and especially our Man Cave listeners a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Be safe and know who's on your roof.
Man, I'm Shreveport guys, man. I love them.
Those Shreveport boys are something different.
Yeah, man.
Hey, brother. Man, embrace the season, embrace the holiday. Give all your family a hug, and much love to Stevie Lee and his family on the arguably the greatest holiday of the year. Absolutely, it is.
Absolutely.
And, we're going to have a porch time, maybe a cigar and a cocktail soon, because beginning this Saturday all the way to January 1st, it's my favorite week of the year. Would you say the same?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
And the bowl games are getting better, and the times with family and friends, that's when it just improves more and more. I mean, you guys be safe. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Man, we don't discriminate. We love you all. We celebrate it all in the Man Cave. For Big Stevie, the pride of Shreveport, and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hars, Big Mike, and Coach Mo, Merry Christmas.